Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Sabir Shakir to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Sabir Shakir's words. Let's share with you some of the latest and most important information regarding the current events and political situation in Pakistan. Today is June 10th, Tuesday, and the federal budget is being presented. Even before the arrival of the budget, the situation has already deteriorated significantly. For the past 24 hours, the only topic being discussed across the country is the failure of the current hybrid regime, an artificial government that has completely failed. Talks of its failures are widespread. Today is June 10th, Tuesday, and the federal budget is being presented. Even before the arrival of the budget, the situation has already deteriorated significantly. For the past 24 hours, the only topic being discussed across the country is the failure of the current hybrid regime, an artificial government that has completely failed. Talks of its failures are widespread. Today, the federal budget is being presented, and some of its key features include a barrage of taxes and a storm of inflation. I believe that as long as this budget is under discussion, the so-called Field Marshal's team will remain under scrutiny because the situation has become severely stuck. Let me share some news with you one by one so you can get a sense of how much pressure this team is under. It has now become common knowledge. Yesterday, the economic survey was released, and since then, I haven't come across a single comment, analysis, or opinion praising the current government or calling the regime change operation a success. Everyone is questioning what the military rulers have gained after doing all this. Now, let's turn to the news so you can understand what's going on. We'll discuss 3 to 4 news items in this session. I will also update you on Imran Riaz Khan and tell you about the escalating fight between Faiza Ali and Sohail Warich. First, let's look at the situation. Every year after Eid al-Adha, statistics are released about the number of animals sacrificed and how it compares to previous years. For many years, the number of sacrificial animals has been increasing, reflecting people's purchasing power and prosperity. Even the poorest people save money to perform this religious obligation. Though it's only obligatory for those who can afford it, even middle-income and salaried people try to perform this act in the path of God. However, this year, the numbers tell a different story. The Tanneries Association, which collects the hides from the sacrificed animals, released the statistics. According to them, nearly 7 million animals were sacrificed this Eid, 1 million fewer than last year. This is a significant and clear sign. Here's the breakdown of animals sacrificed. 3 million cows, 3.4 million goats, 400,000 sheep, and 100,000 camels. A downward trend in animal prices was noted compared to last year due to low buyer turnout despite an abundance of animals. Roughly 30% of animals remained unsold and were taken back. The estimated market value of animal sales dropped to below 500 billion rupees. Compared to last year, animal prices were 25,000 to 150,000 rupees cheaper, yet people couldn't afford them. This indicates a significant drop in purchasing power. At least 1 million families could not afford to sacrifice an animal this year, unlike last year. Another alarming update before the budget: the increase in inflation, unemployment and poverty. Here's another revelation. Over the past year, more than 727,000 Pakistanis have moved abroad. Since the regime change operation, 3 million people have left Pakistan. Most of them are skilled professionals, educated youth who feel their future in Pakistan is bleak. They feel unsafe regarding life, property and dignity, as the country is gripped by fascism, especially over the past 2.5 years. People no longer feel secure in their own homes or businesses. The state is expected to protect its citizens, but over the past 2.5 years, the judiciary has been compromised, the media silenced, and everything has been done to uphold a fake system. As a result, educated youth are migrating with their families. Business people are also relocating their investments abroad. According to Umar Ayub, around $48 billion have been transferred out of Pakistan. People now believe their capital is safer abroad. In Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, the Middle East, Europe, and even Central Asian states. This sense of insecurity weakens the state. Now, let's look at some key features of the upcoming budget. An alarming situation indeed, as there's not a single sector that hasn't been burdened with heavy taxes, except for one surprising sector, which is notorious for tax evasion. For example, locally assembled vehicles under 850 cc will now also become expensive. GST is being increased from 12.5% to 18%. Bakery products, fertilizers and pesticides are being taxed. If fertilizers and pesticides become more expensive, agriculture, already suffering, will be further devastated. Farmers, especially in Punjab, are already economically crushed. Agriculture now contributes a growth rate of only 0.5%, and this budget may even push it into negative territory. This will affect 60 to 65% of the population, most of whom are dependent on agriculture. Ironically, while taxes are being increased on essential sectors, taxes on cigarettes and sugary drinks are being reduced. These products are mostly consumed by the elite, and cigarettes are supposed to be discouraged by increasing their price. Yet now they're being made cheaper, which will increase consumption. According to the Pakistan Tobacco Company's report, 324 billion rupees in taxes are evaded annually by cigarette companies. Yet the government is proposing lower taxes to encourage this industry. This reveals the flawed priorities of this Vision 24 government. In the property sector, they say some federal excise duties are being eliminated, but capital gains tax will be increased. Our construction industry is already in negative growth. Real estate and construction are two key drivers of the economy. When construction starts, it activates 40 to 50 industries, including cement, gravel, steel, wood, electrical, plumbing, glass, paint, etc. But due to IMF pressure, taxes had previously been imposed, stalling the sector. Now excise duty is being removed, but CGT is being increased. Now, let's talk about social media taxation. They plan to further expand the tax net on digital and social media platforms. Even though these platforms were already taxed, the new budget proposes heavier taxes. Whether you earn from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, heavier taxes are being proposed. Even freelancers and overseas earners via digital media will now be taxed more. So, to all Pakistan-based content creators, be alert. The state now has its eyes on you. We, who are in exile, are already outside its reach. But to the young professionals working online in Pakistan, this is a warning. Let me tell you, compared to what's coming, this is just the beginning. The youth are hardworking, educated and tech-savvy, but this government's policies seem to discourage even their efforts. They are mostly watched in Pakistan, so the revenue from abroad is minimal. The accounts the media companies have made are based outside the country. I believe that those who understand this and are listening should go and check for themselves. If you truly want to benefit Pakistan, then let me tell you, you can potentially reach billions. First, promote this industry. Promote social and digital media. Pakistan, with a population of around 250 million, is a significant market. Secondly, ask the media owners from whom all these revenues are generated. Where is their digital income? It's not visible in Pakistan. All the money is being routed abroad. Similarly, our sports channels are doing the same thing, earning money abroad. As for what the actors and actresses are paid, I don't exactly know, but it should be looked into and you'll get an idea. That's our humble suggestion, a small contribution on how to actually benefit Pakistan's economy. These steps will have to be taken. Now let's move on to some more budget-related news for today. We'll give you some details in advance because later today the Federal Cabinet meeting will be held to approve the budget, and then the National Assembly and Senate will be addressed. The total budget volume being presented today is expected to be around 17,600 billion rupees, or 17.6 trillion. The tax collection target is set above 14,000 billion rupees. The economic growth rate is projected at 4.2%. Though this figure is widely disputed and seen as unrealistic by experts like Muzammil Aslam, who argue the actual situation is far worse. A current account deficit of $2.1 billion is projected, aiming to keep it at minus 0.5%. The export target is $35.3 billion, while services export is targeted at $9.6 billion. Remittances are projected at $39.4 billion, implying $3 to $3.25 billion per month. The inflation target is set at 7.5%, which is considered completely inaccurate as prices fluctuate multiple times even within a single day. The sectoral targets, here we go. Industry is aiming for a growth of 4.3%, while services are targeting 4%. Total investment is projected at 14.7%, with fixed investment set at 13%. Manufacturing hopes to reach 14.4%. However, and here's the rub, most experts believe that, well, nothing will be achieved. Now, let's take a closer look at the revenue breakdown. The federal tax collection target is a whopping 14,307 billion rupees. Direct taxes are expected to bring in 6,470 billion. Federal excise duty is set at 1,153 billion, while sales tax is projected at 4,943 billion. Customs duties come in at 1,741 billion, and the petroleum levy is estimated at 1,311 billion. Non-tax revenue is anticipated to be 5,284 billion. And don't forget, the provincial surplus is estimated at 1,220 billion rupees. Now, onto the sobering topic of debt and defence spending. Interest payments alone will consume a staggering 8,685 billion rupees, which, let's face it, shows the dire state of Pakistan's economy. The defence budget is set at 2,414 billion rupees. Combined, these two heads consume nearly 11,000 billion rupees. And, as if that wasn't enough, the government plans to borrow another 6,588 billion rupees for the next fiscal year. Only 1,065 billion rupees will be allocated for development projects. Salaried employees, who have already paid 500 billion rupees in taxes over 11 months, will receive only a 10% salary increase, despite inflation being 38 to 39%. Pension increase is also only 10%. In contrast, salaries of top officials like the Chairman of the Senate and Speaker of the National Assembly have reportedly increased by almost 600%, from 200,000 to 1.3 million rupees. And that's excluding perks. So those already well off are getting significant raises, while ordinary employees get crumbs, 10,000 rupees for someone earning 100,000 rupees. For lower wage workers, the raise would be just 2,000 to 4,000 rupees, which is honestly meaningless given the current cost of living. The armed forces are proposed to be exempt from the contributory pension scheme. The government's allies have advised a larger salary increase, but only 10% has been announced. There's also a projection of $2 billion for deferred payments for Saudi oil and other financial assistance, involving institutions like the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, and so on. The IMF loan responsibility will rest with the Ministry of Finance. Around $19.5 to $20 billion in project financing will be handled by the Economic Affairs Division. Now to the next update regarding Imran Riaz Khan. Alhamdulillah, he is doing perfectly well. He hasn't tweeted or posted any vlogs recently, and I've been receiving messages and calls asking about him. Let me confirm, Imran Riaz is completely fine and has nearly completed his Hajj. In the next day or two, you'll see him return to his normal activity, including vlogs. He tweeted yesterday as well. As you know, Hajj, especially in a short time frame, is a very busy spiritual commitment. The 5 days in Mina, Muzdalifah and Arafat require intense focus and devotion. So he didn't make vlogs during that period, but rest assured, he is safe and you will see him on his YouTube channel very soon, inshallah. That wraps up our translation of Sabir Shakir's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.